Today we're going to dive into tariffs. T word. That's going to be the word of 2025 is tariffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Has to be, right?
Yeah. And so I want you, because you're a smart man, to walk us through what they are. But I had this thought that I wanted to lead with, which I think is really funny. And I mentioned on a different podcast that I like thinking back to, all right, how did it all begin? And if I put myself in the president's shoes, and he is who he is, I picture him getting on ChatGPT and being like, how do I get China to negotiate with me?
Yeah.
And it just says tariffs.
Tariff everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, that's good. And then the only thing out of his mouth is tariffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
God, that's a funny picture to imagine.
Yeah. You know, the art, it's like, just picture him typing, hey, if you were the writer of Art of the Deal,
yeah,
tell me how you would get China to negotiate with you. So I know a little bit about tariffs, but I know you know a lot about tariffs. So maybe we can start with a naive look at them and what they are and what they're used for.
Yeah, sure. So it's the bottom line is they're just taxes on imported goods from other countries. So there's kind of two types. You can just put a percentage of them and say 10%, which is what's been happening now, right? China, I think, is at 125% or whatever. We had the newest rebuttal tariff rate is. And so it's just a percentage. And the other one is just $10 of every ton of steel that's imported is going to be going to come to the government. But it's essentially just a tax for the government to make money on goods that are from another country coming into America.
Okay. And so it's a way for the government to get revenue. But I think if it's the 1500s, and because it's so simple to think of plastic goods flying across the country. But if we're talking about rice or, like you said, steel, and these are on ships going back and forth.
Yeah.
Why as American president do I say, hey, other country, you can sell your rice here, but why don't I just say, hey, come here and sell your rice, no problem?
So it could be a ton of different reasons, but usually it is one of two. One, you want to promote or growth in your own country, right? So you want people in your country to make the rice, and you don't want to rely on another country for that rice, right? Because if they produce that rice faster, better, cheaper than your rice, and then one day they're like, well, this other country is giving me a heck of a lot more money for that rice, or no more rice for you guys because we're at war or something, then immediately you can end up in a situation where all of that supply gets cut off. So you try and promote growth of that certain industry in your own country, or it's used as a just purely negotiation.
Okay. And so the other country says, I've got a lot of rice. I cannot sell it to only my population. So I'm going to ship it over there, and they're happy to pay whatever it is, the 10%, to get it in the door. Now I can make money off that. Perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like early America, that was like our biggest revenue source.
Okay. And that's what I was going to get into, because as I was trying to understand this whole deal, outside of laughing at the other person who doesn't know what's going on with these things, I saw that it used to be 90% of government revenue.